Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today I am back with another big list of movie recommendations for you, and this time we are kicking it old school with some late night 80s comedy classics. You know the kind I'm talking about, the kind that are a little bit naughty, a little bit raunchy, but a whole lot of fun, and you had to grab those VHS tapes, sneak downstairs, close the door to your bedroom and watch them when no one was looking. Well, I have 10 awesome ones for you. So pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right. So late night 80s comedy classics. These are all so much fun. I love this genre of films. These are the sort of adult comedy classics that you probably watched when you were a teenager and not really old enough to watch them. That's what makes the memories so much fun and gives you so much nostalgia. I have 10 of these here that are absolutely a blast, and we are going to jump right into the list, starting at number 10 with one that just squeaks into the 80s at 1989. I am talking about Assault of the Party Nerds. Now, this one is a lot of fun, and it has some 80s sort of screen queen icons in this, because you have Linnea Quigley, you have Michelle Bauer starring in this film, and it stars Richie, who's also the filmmaker, and he and his friends are graduating. The problem is they're like the only 4 or 5 members of the fraternity, and they need to find more fraternity members, more fraternity brothers to keep the fraternity going after they are gone and graduated. And in order to do that, what are they going to do? They are going to party. They are going to party it up, bring everybody in, show them how cool they are, have a blast, all while kind of dodging and dealing with the rival jock fraternity. It is very much a ridiculous college exploitation movie, but it is in this genre 100%. In fact, it gave me the idea because this new release actually says late night classics. That's what this is. These movies are so much fun. You're not looking for a big plot here. You're just looking for the Assault of the Party Nerds from 1989. It comes in at number 10 on this list. Now at number 9 on the list is one that's actually sort of a remake. It's remaking an older film. I'm talking about 1984's Where the Boys Are. Now, I love this genre of film that was very big in the 80s, these late night comedies, these summer comedies that embrace the beach culture of the 1980s. Where the Boys Are is that. It's a simple plot. Again, you have 4 hot college ladies. These beautiful babes are going to travel to Fort Lauderdale, Florida for spring break week right around Easter. And they find themselves involved in a series of adventures and misadventures, one right after the other. It is a calamity of hilarious errors and just partying. These movies are all about a vibe. This movie is very heavy on that just fun 80s beach culture vibes, spring break vibes, total 80s beat. If you want something that takes you back to what it was like in the 1980s on the beach, the bikinis, the hair, the Walkman, the roller skates, all of it, all of the shenanigans, it is in this movie. Of course, it's going to have your hot bodies all throughout this movie. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have your wet t-shirt contest, your hot body contest. All of that stuff is going to be in here as they deal with all kinds of ridiculousness. These movies were just fun. They were absolutely fun. Where the Boys Are, a blast. I picked it up on this out-of-print Scorpion releasing Blu-ray. You can check it out on Tubi and other places. It might not be the best quality. It could be a little censored, but for an uncensored good time, Where the Boys Are takes me back to the 80s beach vibes so much. From 1984, it comes in on our list at number 9. Now, at number 8 on the list is a early Tom Cruise movie that also stars Shelley Long, who pops up in a lot of these movies, believe it or not, in the early 80s. But this one in particular I am talking about is 1982's Losing It. And this one, while made in the 80s, it is set in 1965. So it's 1982, but set 17 years earlier in the 60s. So you get that cool 80s and 60s vibes, much like Back to the Future, where you get the 80s and 50s vibes. Very iconic times for us from a pop culture standpoint. You can easily look at stuff and pick out if it's 80s, 50s, or 60s very easily. And this one's set in 65, and it follows 4 Los Angeles high school friends as they take a trip down to Tijuana to, guess what? Lose their virginity. That's what they're trying to do. That's in the title, Losing It. Along the way, they pick up a beautiful woman played by Shelley Long, who ends up traveling with them for her own purposes. She may be trying to get a divorce. She's going along for the ride. And we follow this as these guys try to lose their virginity on a trip down to Tijuana. And let's just say that they think about everything from paying for the experience to trying to lie or pretend there are other things to get the experience done. And you just kind of laugh. This movie stars Dean Stockwell. It also stars Jackie Earle Haley. And like I said, a very early turn for Tom Cruise. This one is a classic. A lot of people know Losing It. It's another one you can check out on Tubi. You can get it on physical media so that you get it in all of its uncut and best watching glory. Got to be on this list. Losing It from 1982 comes in at number 8. Now at number 7, one good 1982 classic late night comedy deserves another here. I am talking about Night Shift. This one is a lot of fun. This is Ron Howard's directorial debut, and he got a cast. He got Michael Keaton, and he got the Fonz, Henry Winkler himself, to star in Night Shift. And guess what? You got Shelley Long again in this one for the ride. She was busy in 1982 with a lot of these late night kind of naughty comedies. Night Shift is a blast, though, but it is about a mild-mannered, like, morgue attendant, and he is assigned the night shift in the morgue where he is promptly talked into doing something he shouldn't by his new, just crazy co-worker and his next-door neighbor, who happens to be a prostitute. And what they do is convince him that it is a great idea to run a prostitution ring out of the morgue. You can guess that this sets up a lot of funny situations because you have Henry Winkler here kind of playing the straight man, like playing it straight, playing the button-down, lace, mild-mannered guy. You got Michael Keaton goading him to go over the top. This is just a few years before he did Beetlejuice. You have beautiful Shelley Long in here. There's whole scenes where she's, in her underwear just cooking and she's talking to Henry Winkler. And then you got Michael Keaton over there. And there's this moment where you're like, that's Batman / Beetlejuice, Mr. Mom, talking to Arthur Fonzarelli. And you have Shelley Long over there, who I associate, with the show Cheers and a lot of movies, growing up in the 80s. And it's just like, and Ron Howard is directing them, and this movie is an absolute blast. Cannot recommend this one enough. It's a little lower on the list because it's probably more known, and I'm trying to mix those in. But if you have not checked out Night Shift, you've got to do it. It comes in at number 7 on our list. Now, number 6 on the list is another one that is actually pretty star-studded, and it's another one this one's from 1980, so it just squeaks into the 80s. But it's another one that's set back in the 60s, 1965 again, which at this point in time wouldn't have been that hard to pull off because it was only 15 years before, probably 14 by the time they filmed it. But this one stars Tony Danza, has Michelle Pfeiffer. But the one person that kind of gets overlooked when talking about this one is Robert Wuhl, who played Arliss. He's been in a ton of other movies. I am talking, of course, about The Hollywood Knights. And if you haven't seen this movie, wow, is it a blast. So,
problem is they won't let me show you any of the good stuff. And I definitely can't show you what the cheerleader in the middle forgot to wear.
1950s went into the 60s car culture in California, and they are led by their comedic leader Turk, who is played by Robert Wuhl, and they basically get together and they are going to tear it up and just have a blast and get into all kinds of adventures and shenanigans on a Hollywood night through Hollywood in Beverly Hills in 1965. If they are going to go out, they are going to go out in a blaze of glory, an absolute blast. You've got cars, kids, craziness. You have skinny dipping. You have swimming. You have girls sunbathing nude. You have a cheerleader who forgot to put on her bloomers in front of everyone. This movie is an absolute gas. I am telling you, if you like, people remember Tony Danza, they remember Michelle Pfeiffer. Robert Wuhl, for me, kind of steals the show in this. He is fun in every scene he's in. The ladies are beautiful. You're going to get a young Fran Drescher in this movie. Absolutely. This is one I would love to see on 4K because the nights, the Hollywood night outside, the colors, the cars, the beautiful women, the fun, all of it. It just is a total package of a classic late night movie that you would have seen in the 80s that was a little bit naughty and just a hell of a lot of fun. You can check this one out on Tubi for free. We need a great physical media release of this one. I really have a lot of fun with this movie, and when I revisited it for this list, I had an absolute blast. I've actually watched it twice preparing for this list. I think you'll enjoy it too. The Hollywood Knights comes in at number 6. Now at number 5 on our list, if we're going to go young Tom Cruise, and we're going to go young Shelley Long and Michelle Pfeiffer and all these, we might as well go young Tom Hanks. I am talking about 1984's Bachelor Party. And this one is fun because you got Tawny Kitaen in this movie too. But this is fun to see Tom Hanks back. I am more of an old movie Tom Hanks guy. Bachelor Party, Turner and Hooch, I love. Like all of those movies back then, Splash, all that stuff. That is like actually my favorite version of Tom Hanks. And he is wild and out in this movie. He's soon to be married in the film, and his friends decide to throw him the bachelor party to end all bachelor parties. And he kind of begrudgingly at first is talked into it, but he is just as wild as his friends, really, overall. The problem is Tawny Kitaen, his wife-to-be, she comes from money. Her family is rich, and they already don't like him. Her ex-boyfriend, who is also rich and more approved of by her parents, he doesn't like him. He's basically a bus driver who's winning money playing craps at the back of his bus. He's getting into all kinds of stuff. He hasn't really grown up yet, but he is trying to stay faithful and true during this whole bachelor party event. It is booze, strippers, debauchery of all kinds, and they are just playing it up for the most amount of laughs and craziness. Seeing them burst through the door, that iconic scene that is on the poster. This movie is a lot of fun. It is an absolute classic. I remember seeing this as a kid. I remember me and my brother thinking this was a big thing to be able to rent and watch this movie. If you haven't seen it, you have to check it out. This is another one I believe that you can check out free on Tubi. But I'm telling you, get these movies on physical media where you can. The picture's going to be better. They're going to be uncensored. You're going to have the best version possible. That's what you want of Bachelor Party. See Tom Hanks when he was back there having a blast in everything he did. Bachelor Party from 1984 comes in at number 5. Now, at number 4 is one that I have talked about on this channel before. I have it on this physical media 4-pack of films, and honestly, the other 3 films could be on this list too. But I am talking about 1984's Hardbodies. Now, this one is pretty much a classic here, and it is basically 3 middle-aged dudes. They want a summer of love, a summer of fun. They want to hook up and score with beautiful beach babes. So you're going to get the beach babe sort of 80s beach vibe culture in this one as well. So they are going to rent a house down by the beach so that they are there, so that they have their best opportunity to score with these ladies. They find out, though, one problem: they got no game. They got no game, and they're a little beyond middle age. Middle age in 1984 looks very different than middle age in 2025. So you have like 45-year-old dudes, 40-year-old dudes that looks like they're in their 60s. Late 60s, and so they're having trouble scoring. So what do? They go and get a very popular and handsome young surfer dude to come and teach them how to have more style, how to have more game, and use that game to pick up these babes and score with them. They might find that they bit off a little more than they can handle in some cases, a little more than they're ready for. That's the whole setup for the movie. You're going to see some recognizable faces in here. Courtney Gaines is in this movie. He's done a lot in his career. Burbs with Tom Hanks. He was in Children of the Corn. Lots of movies. You're going to see that. But this movie just has that 80s vibe and that 80s beach culture just turned up to 11. And that atmosphere that it creates is part of what takes me back. It makes me feel like I am watching an old school late night classic back as a teenager, as a kid in the 80s, and kind of having a little bit of naughty fun that I wasn't maybe supposed to be having watching movies like that. Total harmless fun, but definitely above my pay grade back then. It hits just the right spots now. Hardbodies will hit the target for you too. It comes in at number 4 on our list. Now, at number 3 on our list is one of my favorite comedies of all time. I am a huge Bill Murray fan. This movie gets overlooked because you just think it's a Bill Murray comedy, and you kind of forget, A, how funny it is, and B, kind of how naughty it is, how much it pushes the envelope. I'm talking about 1981's Stripes. And yes, I want you. I've got it, the classic VHS. Now, I have the 4K coming. There's a beautiful 4K restoration. But this on a CRT old TV will give you all the vibes. Because this movie, besides starring Bill Murray, also stars Harold Ramis. So you got Egon in there. You got John Candy in here. You got John Larroquette in here. PJ Soles, Sean Young, Judge Reinhold. That's not even all. You're going to see so many 80s famous faces. It is going to take you right back to those 80s late night classic comedy days. And then it's going to push the envelope. You're going to get your TNA like you're going to with all of these. You have PJ Soles in here, as I said, and Sean Young kind of showing off. You have John Larroquette peeping on people in the shower. But this is really about Bill Murray and Harold Ramis, two down on their luck friends who decide they got nothing else going for them, so they are going to join the army to have a good time. And just the facts, Jack, it is time to hit them with some razzle-dazzle in the way that Bill Murray and Harold Ramis and John Candy and all these guys together can do. They kind of screw around so much, particularly Bill Murray, that it's almost the complete detriment to their entire platoon, and they are going to flunk right out of basic training and not pass. But as it turns out, sometimes the goofy guys may just have the most intelligence. They just don't necessarily apply themselves, but they are going to need to apply themselves. The U.S. Army is going to need them to apply themselves in order to bail them out and save them in a big situation. It is a absolute lot of fun. You're going to get John Candy mud wrestling in this movie. What else do I need to tell you for that? This movie is so much fun. I love it with my whole heart. Stripes from 1981 comes in at number 3 on this list. Now, at number 2 on this list is one that kind of gets overlooked sometimes for some reason in a very popular genre. So you had the beach vibe movies, the 80s beach culture in the 80s and these late night comedies, but another side of that coin in the late night 80s comedies was the snow skiing movies. So you had quite a few of these, and one of my favorites is 1983's Hot Dog, the movie. Now, this stars David Naughton, who is in American Werewolf in London, another big 80s movie, another cult classic. I would put this in cult classic status because besides David Naughton, it also stars Shannon Tweed, who at the time was very big. She had done Playboy. Of course, she's been with Gene Simmons of Kiss for many, many, many years now at this point. And she reveals quite a lot about herself in Hot Dog, the movie. But it really doesn't follow David Naughton or Shannon Tweed. It follows more of an unknown actor who is an up-and-coming freestyle skier, and he is on his way to a big championship competition where he's hoping to make the team and help the United States win the championship. He picks up a beautiful young woman along the way as a hitchhiker, and they end up having a relationship during this. But I'm going to tell you, it's not a rom-com. It is a raunchy, naughty 80s late night comedy all the way. Now, you're going to get some expert style snow skiing in this that is super fun. You're going to get the American team versus like the German team, and they are competing not only for the skiing title, but they're competing for women. They're competing for bragging rights. There is a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, a lot of carnal liaisons going on in this movie. Plenty of TNA. I was actually surprised to see Shannon Tweed. I didn't remember her when I went back and watched. Now, I have the uncensored, uncut version here on this Blu-ray from Synapse. You can watch this movie on Tubi, but I believe it's the censored version that's cut, the R-rated version. This is the unrated. And let's just say you get to know Shannon Tweed and a lot of the other actresses in this movie a whole lot better. It is 80s all the way. One of my favorite, just absolutely wild. If you could take like Caddyshack and put it at a snow ski competition and lodge and make it even raunchier and more naughty, you would get Hot Dog, the movie, and would pair very well with Hamburger, the motion picture. But for me, Hot Dog from 1983 comes in at number 2 on this list. And that just leaves number 1, and it is undoubtedly probably the most well-known movie on this list. I could have put a lot of well-known movies on this list. I could have put Revenge of the Nerds. I love that movie. It's from the 80s. But I feel like, it is expected. I wanted to give you a taste of something different. But in that vein, I also wanted to give you one of the most naughty 80s late night adults only sort of comedy classics that kind of helped launch the genre, because this one is very early in the 80s. It's 1981, and it has stood the test of time. I am talking about, of course, Porky's. I mean, this movie is just sort of synonymous with this genre. So it continues the 1980s. We had a love affair with like the 50s, early 60s, Back to the Future, the other movies on this list. This one's no different. It's from 1981, but it's set in 1954 Florida. So that makes it a little different. It's not California and beach culture. It's Florida beach vibes. So it kind of moves into like panhandle and redneck swampy kind of thing. So it has a little bit of a different vibe going to it. Kind of encompasses a lot of this stuff. But it is a group of friends who are trying to lose their virginity in high school. That is a recurring theme because it is a very human theme, and it makes these things funny because people can relate to them. No matter how naughty or raunchy they get, people can relate to these things because it's a very human thing to want to do. Now, they just happen to do it in a hysterical way here, but they try to help each other lose their virginity. Particularly, you have Pee-wee, you have a couple of the others who, they're just hilarious in this movie. They're doing everything that hornball teenage boys were doing that they shouldn't do. They're spying on girls in the very famous shower scene where you have the crazed Miss Ballbricker who is seeing them stick their tongues and other things through these shower stalls, little holes in the shower stalls where they're peeping in on these girls. But what these guys really want more than anything is to get in the adults only club, which is what this whole episode is about. Adults only club down the road called Porky's, ran by Porky and his redneck sort of outlaw sheriff of a brother. Now they have a brothel in there. It's an adults rough kind of fun party place. If you could think a classier Double Deuce from Roadhouse, that's what they want to get into here and get with the ladies, so they're going to try it that way. But they run into some problems standing off against Porky. Of course, this is also very, very famous for, besides the shower scene, it is also very famous for the men's locker room scene with Kim Cattrall. Lassie, come home. You just have to see this. If you haven't seen it, you must see Porky's. Now, I've learned that this isn't actually streaming anywhere right now. This is a poster child for the importance of physical media. So if you want to check out Porky's, which I highly recommend, old school 80s, late night style, you are going to have to go out old school 80s style and get you a piece of physical media and pop that tape in, because that's going to be the only way you can watch it. And I highly recommend it. And that's why Porky's is number one on this list. Gotta love the boys from Angel Beach. But that's what I got for you this time. Some late night movies, some comedy classics from the 1980s. I hope you enjoyed this list. We do all kinds of things here. Lists and recommendations like this. We do 4K movie reviews, physical media news, all that kind of stuff from a fan and filmmaker's perspective. If this is your first time here, I'm a working filmmaker. I have been for about 20 years. That's what I do, and I love talking movies with you. I have tons of these recommendation lists, so much more. If you guys are interested, let me know, and I will keep making these because I love recommending movies and talking movies with all of you. Let me know some of your favorites. Have you seen these? Talk about it in the comments. If you want to help spread the pop culture word, you can like and subscribe. That really helps out. If you want to help support the channel, you can join below at my Patreon link, where I can do a lot more kind of like this over there, or you can join at my YouTube channel, become a channel member, a Patreon member, get your name and lights on every single video here. Behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, special members only videos, and so much more, and it all goes back into the channel. It keeps me doing this, and I really do love doing it. And until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. Bye now.